What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? Mm-hmm. Dude, what was your problem? Hmm. Yeah, that's fast. Early with wind, not ideal. How much PGA Championship did you watch?
I got to watch some. I just realized my mic was muted on my side, on my stream.
Oh, fun. Well, welcome to the party, Darbo.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna have to bump you up. Okay. Ask that question again. Sorry.
How much PGA Championship did you watch?
I watched all the way up until about 2 p.m. No, 3 p.m. today, and then I was listening on the radio as I was driving about. So I didn't get to watch a lot. I heard a lot. I saw a lot Thursday, saw a lot Friday, and then Saturday was kind of iffy. That's when I was golfing. Never mind. I didn't get to watch much on Saturday, but yeah, probably enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, I watched as much as I could this afternoon. It was fun-ish. It kind of got out of control late, with Rye. So it was kind of crazy to see him do what he was doing there. What did I want to say about the situation? Like everyone coming at us with the course being like a mess and whatever, like statistically not rewarding people. Aaron Rye, all 6 of his 7 birdies / eagles that he made today came from the fairway. Everyone was saying like that this golf course setup stinks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a putt fest, whatever, like, going on nonsense about all this stuff. Guys leading the field in putting would win this tournament more often than not. Well, more than anyone, Darbo, like putting stats are related to approach stats, and approach stats are related to off the tee stats. And I went through all of the best rounds from each day, and ultimately, 82% of them, any birdies that were made came from the fairway. Like eight of every 10 shots, from the fairway resulted in a birdie. There were, 2 out of every 10 that was from the rough that they made. Could be from 50 yards in, could be whatever. And that excludes when they miss fairways on par fives. 88% of the time, you'd imagine your next par 5 shot is going to be leaving you with the easy chip to get close to the flag kind of thing, right? So you had to have done that. And Aaron Rye hit 6 of his 7 birdies today was from the fairway. So you had to have your whole game dialed in today. Otherwise, you were struggling. By the way, he hit it 330 on 18. He outdrove Ludwig by 9 yards. 330 up the hill, man. That was insane. Just full on gas mode. So that was really impressive from Aaron Rye. Just, dude, insanely impressive stuff. He was just gaining on the field nonstop down the stretch. Eagle, par, birdie, par, birdie, par, birdie, par. And even the pars were gaining strokes on the field. So, gee whiz, man. That putt that he made on 17 was where Cam Smith 3-putted from.
And Cam Smith was putting lights out.
Well. I was really enjoying watching him golf today.
Yeah,
until the stretch.
Yeah,
kind of got stuck there. But wasn't hitting fairways. So the putting got dinged. The more fairways you hit, then you'd typically gain a putt or two. Like when you can give yourself a good looking putt, because 10 feet on one of these greens, if it's like a side slopey ass putt, I would rather have a 15-footer straight up the hill, like, up the spine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think strokes gained putting stats on greens as slopey as these are reflective of what succeeded this week.
Okay, actually, I even have. First of all, let's applaud you for that post, because I saw it and I was like, damn, dude, that's really good. You went through and you looked at all the birdies and where they came from the fairway. It makes sense, and it wasn't that the rough was super thick, but it was definitely thick enough to not. And then hold on, you mix up the rough with the firmness of the greens and the windiness of the conditions.
Yeah.
And it really makes hitting any golf ball close to the hole nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Even with the people from the fairways, if you watched how much spin these guys were able to generate, a lot of them weren't able to put a ton of spin on them. You saw some pretty hot bounces once they landed on the green, which basically, now I'll circle back to what you said about putting. When you've got tough conditions like they did, I mean, do we know what the average proximity was to the hole on any, like, just the average proximity throughout the entire golf course?
He has fairway proximity and rough proximity. It's almost, for Rye, it was double.
Yeah. I'd be really curious to see, like, what of all the people who, or I guess for round, each round, what the proximity was. The average on tour is like 32 feet or 36 feet, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. I'm gonna validate that right now as I'm talking. But when you have proximity that's super far away, the issue when it comes to putting, it's 38 feet. 38 feet's the average proximity. I guarantee you proximity on average would have been like 45 to 50 feet. I like at this place.
Yeah, these are just the best guys. There's obviously the further down you go, there's going to be worse.
So circling back to the putting thing, okay, so when you have such high numbers of proximity, that means putts, the average putt length is going to be further away. Well, some people are going to drop bombs from far away. And unfortunately with putting stats, because you and I don't really have the data that can actually look at all of the 10-foot putts that were putted, all of the 12-foot putts, all the 15, 20, 30, whatever. Yeah. All we get is what was the average strokes gained putting, or what were the average length of putts made, or whatever it ends up being. Your putting stats can look tremendously good by just hitting 2 bombs in. Scotty had like a 90-foot putt on Thursday that I was thinking about. If he made that putt, I almost wanted to go to Twitter. If he would have made that putt, he didn't. If he wanted to make that putt, he would have gained nearly 2 strokes on putting just on that putt.
That's insane.
Yeah. And you don't get many 90-footers, but the reason I was going to actually post it is he didn't hit a super close putt. And if he would have 3-putted, I would have went to Twitter and said, that's pretty much your average 3-putt range is from 90 feet away.
Yeah.
So
that's the crazy thing.
Hitting the green in that scenario isn't as advantageous as you would think, because they were all talking about, oh, he's just going to try to get to the middle of the green, and then he hit it. It's like, oh yeah, that was a smart shot. And I almost was like, no, it wasn't. Like, you probably wanted to be in the bunker closer to the hole. You probably wanted to hit it through. I mean, everything is strategy and whatever, but
yeah.
Anyways, I was saying all of this because of your putting remark, and it's like, how many 12-footers did we even see? How many 10-footers did we even see? And how are we going to actually know that type of information, based off of general putting stats? But I agree with you. Your premise was like the 10 and 12-footers were slippery. They were hard. They were difficult here.
Yeah, dude. And it's just whoever kind of afforded themselves. I mean, Rye was 4th in the field in driving accuracy this week. So he just gave himself really good looks.
Yeah.
It was kind of hilarious. Cam Smith, loser. Guys that lost in certain areas. Ludwig almost lost a stroke putting this week. He finished 1 back. Cam Smith lost almost 3.5 strokes off the tee. That is such a Cam Smith experience, dude.
Yeah.
It's so hilarious.
Yeah. These are total strokes, by the way, people. He's multiplying that by 4.
Yeah, these are averages. And then Xander Schauffele lost about 1.5 strokes this week on approach and still finished 7th. Now Xander cashed that top 20 bet. 16 of the last 17 have been top 20s, dude. He is probably one of the best major golfers to ever walk the planet when it comes to like a consistency standpoint. Xander Schauffele.
Yeah.
Insane. Like another top 7, another top 10 for Xander. And he did so with like at a course where a lot of approach play matters. He was losing like routinely, man. He sculled one out of the bunker into the lip. It didn't even hit the lip first. It hit the sand first, then the lip. Like playing like a complete ditz. But shout out John Rahm, first top 5 in a major since going to Live. A classic non-competitive. Never looked like he was going to win this major ever. Today he got into the lead for one hole and then made a bogey right over here. I think he went birdie, got into the lead, bogey. Like just played the hole like shit. And then that was it. He was never in the lead again, I think. So
Nope.
he was really good, but disappointing. Alex Smalley, dude, congrats to him. I think that's his first career major top 20, and it's a T2. Like Aaron Rai completely debunks the fact that you need to have won a PGA Championship or a major beforehand. His best finish, I think, was an 18th.
I was actually going to ask you that question. I'm glad that you said it first.
Yeah. I think his best major finish was 18th. If you take a look at all of his majors, it's 19th. The 3 19th place finishes. That's it. So crazy. Oh, last year bucket, year 1, Darbo.
Yep. That's right.
But again, whatever. Back to the leaderboard. Justin Thomas drove the ball exceedingly well. The fact that he,
You know what's funny? I didn't see a lot of Justin Thomas golf throughout the weekend, but I did see one hole, hole 18. I saw hole 18 where he tried to step on the driver and just fucking put it way into the left rough.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time he does that, just a little guy trying to swing big.
But shout out to him. That's now his 4th major top 5, 3 at the PGA Championship, and 3 of them have come with him teeing off like hours before the leaders. That's just what Justin Thomas does. It's just what he does. Incredible, like come from behindness. I mean, he's insane. Same thing goes with Michael Kim. But I want to shout out Justin Rose. Cash me a top 10 bet today at plus 430.
He fought hard.
I cashed the top 20 bet on him at 2-1, and I made like 4.5 units on Justin Rose. So He was the guy that helped me out a lot. And Darbo, look at his rough proximity over the week. Whenever he missed, like, look at this. When he missed the fairway, it was bad. 82nd. How many people are in this thing? There he is. Like, he was so bad off the tee that he hit himself into so many bad spots. You don't even want to know how good this round was from Justin Rose today. Look at like the putts that he missed on some of these holes after just could not make a putt. Then he just could not hit a green, but he just kept making putts. It was like psycho round.
Did you watch him on round 4? Because I could tell you round 1 and 2, he had a bunch of misses to the right with his driver.
Hole number 10. Was it the second hole? Yeah, we go. Boom. Look at this hole. This was a fun. I watched his entire tournament disappear right over here.
Yeah.
This was when the weather, because I bet the under 267.5, and it was looking like, I mean, how did that not hit? The weather was insane this week. There was so much more wind than I expected.
Yeah. I think it's way more wind than anybody expected, honestly. I mean, it felt like, winning scores. There was a huge discussion about it all the way to all the way up until the lineup lock. And I know in my chat, like Wednesday night, someone was like, "Oh, so and so that said it was going to be like minus 14 or minus, somewhere between minus 14, minus 16." And then someone goes, "Oh no, I heard it was supposed to be lower than minus 18." Then someone goes, "Oh no, I think it's supposed to be higher than minus 12." And it's like, so nobody really knew,
Nobody knows. Oh, I kicked you out instead of removing the screen. I'm so sorry. Let's get into optimals and stuff, Darbo.
Okay.
Or do you have any other guys you want to chat about on the leaderboard?
Well, first of all, actually, let's go back up to the top leaderboard. How are your feelings about Aaron Rai winning? Because I have my feelings on it. Yeah, go ahead.
I try to do a Photoshop of like our thumbnail and turn the Wanamaker into a Greek yogurt and just have him holding like this Greek yogurt trophy, because that's what I see when I see Aaron Rai. It's like just Greek yogurt. It's sour cream. It really, at the end of the day, it's sour cream, but we're calling it Greek yogurt because it's just golf.
Yeah.
And I find him extremely uninspiring.
I agree. Agreed.
Like from an entertainment perspective, I obviously love the inspirational story that is around Aaron Rai and how, like blue collar, he came up, through it all.
Right.
That's awesome. That is just, it's like, buddy, it's like not fun for me. He's so boring. He's like what Scotty Scheffler is, but
worse.
He worse. Like just with Greek yogurt slathered all over it, just plain ass stuff.
Here's my, so one is like, it's cool to see that any golf swing on tour can win. It's cool to see any type of game can win. It's cool to see any kind of person can win, all of that stuff. But when it comes to him, he reminds me of like Tom Kite in a way. When I first started watching golf, and like when Tiger was, kind of ripping and roaring. I mean, that was in 98. At that time, I had just turned 11. So I was really like nerding out about golf around that age. I was, pretending to win Masters, all that kind of stuff, like everyone does when you go out and play the golf course. But he was on tour like right when Tom Kite was getting off of tour, pretty much. And, highlights of old tournaments would pop up on some of these tournaments, and it was like Tom Kite was dominating. He was like, I think at that time he'd made the most money on the PGA Tour or something like that. Yeah. He was the most nerdy looking guy, unathletic looking guy. Just it was a methodical golf swing and it was fine, but I thought it was lame. Like he's lame. He looks lame. He acts lame and whatever. Same thing applies for Aaron Rai, in my opinion. I mean, hey, if that's who you are and that's how you live your life, so be it. That's fine. But that golf swing is so mechanical. And for someone like me to say something like that, I'm very technical when it comes to everything. Like you could say, there's I enjoy the mechanics of a golf swing, but that swing is just so slow and methodical. You have the perfect word. It's uninspiring. Like Tiger Woods wasn't always perfect with his golf swings. He lashed at it. There was like a ferocity, athleticism to his golf swing. Rai takes it back, and it's just like you can tell that he's working on certain things in his golf swing, and he just does them. There's just nothing exciting about his game. And the comp of Scotty, at least Scotty has footwork that just you can giggle at, and like especially with his follow throughs, whenever he tries to hit a draw, it looks like a kid swinging a baseball bat. It's just like it's so goofy.
Exactly.
That's like, how is that the number one golfer in the world? So there's some excitement to Scotty's game, despite kind of his even keel mentality or whatever you want to call it on the golf course, or even, and maybe not so much anymore with his little outbursts, but anyways, that's my take on Aaron Rai. Good for him for winning, but oh my God, the game of golf burger. Needed someone like the guy you just highlighted, Oberg, winning, or McIlroy. Yeah, either one of them winning would have been so much better for the PGA Championship than Rye. And Smalley, by the way, I knew Smalley was not going to win. He does not have the cojones to win a major championship.
This was just, I was just waiting for him and Schmidt to just kind of just fall off the cliff. But they just kind of...
They played good.
They played well. Because sometimes that final group can just get really toxic. One person starts bleeding out early. Remember the Ludwig Thorbjornsson players group? They bringing the ropes in behind the final group, and it's like they try to break into the top 10, and they were in the final group on a Sunday. They're trying to just get themselves into the next tournament. This was it with these guys, and they kind of just stuck it through. I mean, Schmitty was just making putt after putt after putt after 3-jacking the first, and still gained 1.8 strokes putting. I also want to point out that Rye gained 6 strokes in 10 holes on this back nine.
Yeah.
He eagled 9 and then gained 6 strokes, basically. All of the strokes that he was losing strokes on the field up until that. And then made that eagle putt, which Rory, dude, this was so disgusting. Rory hit a drive on number 9, 379 yards into the middle of the fairway, gained 0.4 strokes on the field. He had 208 yards into the green. He landed it probably 4 yards short of what needed to happen, putted it way past the hole, made a bad putt coming back, and made a 5. So he messed up the first par 5. Then on 13, every time he pulled out a 3-wood, he missed the goddamn green, the fairway. Anytime he used a 3-wood, I can tell you almost like where it happened, because it's missed fairway, missed fairway, missed fairway, missed fairway. Like anytime he whooped out the 3-wood, he would screw it up. And we're not even talking about this final 9 on Thursday, where he just completely lost the tournament. Yeah. I mean, I had money on this guy to win the tournament, and it just didn't come through. So that sucks. Shout out Patrick Reed. Now it's back-to-back top 12s for him in majors. And that's all he's playing.
I liked his presser. Did you hear it? He was talking about how, people complaining about this. It goes hand in hand with kind of your post about how people didn't like this golf course and how, it just was unfair and whatever. Patrick Reed was like, I'm going to summarize. He's like, when the conditions get as tough as they do, you can't just rely on mechanics of your golf swing. You have to have creativity. You can't fly a ball to the hole expecting it to stop when it's downwind and, whatever. You got to 3/4 swing something that lands short of the green and hops up. Like, you got to get creative. He didn't say that piece, but that's basically what he was saying on that. And I was like, that is, yeah. And who's better at that? I mean, very few people have a better creativity in golf than Patrick Reed.
Cam Smith, I feel like those kind of guys, both of those guys, both 45th and Matt Fitzpatrick today shot -5 to get himself into 14th, complete backdoor top 20 there. Yeah. Ben Griffin is starting to put together some golf again, Darbo.
Yeah. I couldn't get there with him. Like, it was very difficult to he was a fair price this week, and he fit a lot of lineups, but I know he's been playing hot. I just didn't want to put him into my lineups.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing over here, Byron, is before our stream, I told you why I liked Smalley. There was a trend that I found that most of the leaderboards using the lead in stats, this little guy right here, if you went strokes gained last year and you looked at everybody's stats heading down, it was like a combination of off the tee and approach equaled like 0.4 or greater or something like that for most of them. So yeah, some of these guys that you see on just for 2025 isn't going to be there, but that's what I kind of went with when I was thinking about some of these cheap golfers. And that's why I liked Alex Smalley, because his was 0.4 or greater. And I was kind of just trying to do some quick research. with some of these other golfers. You know, Alex Fitzpatrick, he didn't have that many starts on tour, but his off the tee and approach, you know, were good. And I just want to see what his finish was. It was nearly dead last of guys who made the cut.
Mm-hmm. I think he's just run out of steam, man. You know, like,
oh, for sure.
So
yeah, I think Andrew Putnam was the guy that I was thinking about when I was telling you that he's not here. I think maybe
he's like a short game guy. He's gonna
right, but his like I feel like his strokes gain stats were actually decent. Let me double check on that.
And you've got the optimals and all of that stuff for us as well.
I do. Andrew Putnam. Okay, maybe not. I don't know why I was thinking Andrew Putnam. Anyways, all right, yeah, we can go over that right now.
Yeah.
So for the optimal lineup at the PGA Championship, you would have spent $49,700 on the golfers, and it literally is your top DK performers. It was Aaron Rai, Alex Smalley, Rahm, Oberg, Justin Thomas, and Kitayama. It wasn't Xander. Xander's in the GPP winning lineup that I told you in the optimal. It was before the stream that it was Xander. It was not. You were right. It was Oberg. You said Oberg must have been in there. He was. So too was Justin Thomas with his great finish on Sunday. Kurt Kitayama also had a really good finish on Sunday. He was in my Millie Maker lineup. I had Smalley and Kitayama. So I had two of the optimal lineup guys in my Millie Maker. My best one, I should say. I put in two, and one of them made me $80. So put 50 in, got 80 back from that. That was nice.
Nice.
Got 600th place or whatever. But it was a Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm lineup. Oh, I had Rahm too. Okay, never mind. I had Kitayama, Rahm, and Smalley. I had three guys in the optimal lineup in my lineup.
That helps, man.
Oh, big time. Yeah, so that was your optimal. It scored 550 points. Actually, let me zoom in just a little more so you guys can see it better. Yeah, it scored 550. The GPP winning lineup used all $50,000 of the salary. The last 2 weeks, I know I mentioned it to you 2 weeks ago. I don't think I really mentioned to it last week, but 2 weeks ago, I think it was like 49,200 was the GPP winning lineup. That's how much money they spent. Last week it was 49,100. Like that was nuts. We never really see that. Huh?
Like that, yeah. Signature events.
Yeah.
No cut.
I should say this is the Millie Maker lineup. Yeah. So using all 50,000, and this is something I always talk about in all my streams. Like, just don't leave a lot of money on the table. Stop getting cute. You're gonna actually make worse lineups leaving a lot of money on the table. Your Millie Maker lineup this week scored 511 points. So there was like 39 point difference between the optimal and the GPP. If you use the optimizer that I have and you didn't change any of the buckets or any of the other systems or any other conditions that go into the sweet spot process, you would have built a lineup that used $49,600 of the salary, and it would have scored 544.5 points. And that would have been Rye, Smalley, Rahm, Oberg, Justin Thomas, and Harris English. The Harry-ish. We talked about him, I think, last week because I mentioned, doesn't he play really well in the majors?
Yeah. Dude, he's so good in majors now.
Is he like Brooks Koepka Jr.? Like he's a big game hunter, but doesn't win?
Brooks Koepka Senior. Let's go with that because it's like, you know, he's just the wily vet that just does it. He was doing it before Brooks was making it cool.
Okay.
I was a little down on Harry going into this week because I thought it was going to be a bit more of a scoring fest.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the couch watching him miss. Dude, I remember where I was driving today and I heard the announcer say, I don't even know why they make this man putt this one. We got 4 feet for Harris English here. And then they said, well, that's why, because he just missed it.
Oh my God.
He missed like a 4-footer. But I have 2 future bets on Harris English to make the cut in all 4 majors and Xander Schauffele for top 20 in all 4 majors at 41 and 7-1. And those are looking delightful. I think I might have even gone Xander with the top 10 in a couple, but maybe not. But either way, Xander is just such a beast, dude. But Harry, Shinnecock, watch out.
Yeah. Man, I wish I. Well, I was gonna say I wish I would have been able to play in that qualifier because it would have been cool to be in Shinnecock, but that
Yeah, I would have been
missed
loved
it.
to have been
Missed
taking
it.
your name.
So that Sweet Spot Optimal, by the way, you see on the screen 10,400, 9,800, 9,400, 72, 67, 61. I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm gonna show it what I mean by it. Believe it or not, this is a 10,98776 based off of old salaries.
Mm-hmm.
But that is again 10,400, 9,800, 9,400. That's a 1099, Byron. Why is Darbo saying 1098? It's because if you watch any of my streams, I do a price conversion. I loathe, absolutely hate the 5K range. So what I try to do is I try to convert the 5s up to 6s, and then I make all the necessary updates to match what a normal DraftKings slate looks like for salaries. So I make there. Some of these are like calculated, like have calculations. Some of them are just, instead of Scotty maybe should be 13,400, I made him 13,200. No big deal. $200 isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But everything else is basically right in line. So here you go. I've highlighted them. It's John Rahm. He's in that low 10K range. Oberg is right in the middle. He would naturally be like a $9,400 golfer. Justin Thomas would be an $8,900 golfer. And then when I scroll down, you got Harris English at 7,200, who would be 7,200. This is your vector right here. Yeah. And then Aaron Rye, 6,700, would normally be a $7,000 golfer. So 7,000, 7,200. And then Alex Smalley would normally be a $6,800 golfer.
Mm-hmm.
So believe it or not, 1098 776 for your Sweet Spot Optimal. I like John Rahm. John Rahm was in a bunch of my lineups. Ludwig Oberg was not. I guess I'm just one of those have to wait and see type of guys.
Well, for both of them, that was both have to wait and see. Because Ludwig, this is his first top 10 in a non-Masters.
Okay.
So it's
that's true. Yeah, that's a top 5 even. US Opens and
things. It's a top 5 now. He made a big putt on the last hole to kind of get him out of what would have been 10th, 7th. So yeah, second. He's showing now he can contend in his majors, but also none of these guys, not John Rahm, Ludwig Oberg, Rory, Xander, no one looked like they were interested in trying to win this damn thing, man. They didn't have any sort of killer instinct. Rye just ran away with it. I thought Smalley could have limped in as well at some point, but yeah, it was pretty disappointing from all of them, really.
And actually, just looking at this, well, first of all, let me brush up on Justin Thomas. He had great form heading in, not great, good form coming in, and some people thought, he just looked dialed. But he had what was his 600 round of golf today to get him all the way up to 4th place.
Yeah.
But that is kind of Justin Thomas golf. He tends to do that. It's kind of also like what Rory does. They're all, they all find their way to get inside the top 10 or top 5 somehow. Whether it's, not performing well on Sundays and having the lead, or it's, coming from so far behind.
Here's JT's 4th round. Look at his proximity from the fairway. To have that good of a round, you got to dial it in, and I think taking a look at these stats from an overall high level perspective, you can't do that. You have to really zone in on certain key aspects of these things to see how it really worked out for them.
Right. One thing I was going to note is each of these golfers, except for John Rahm, had a top 20 finish heading into the event. Not so much heading into the event, the week before.
Mm-hmm.
The week before. Rye had one at
Myrtle.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach. There was another. Okay, here. Oh,
Zurich.
What's that?
Oh no. Yeah.
I now remember why I also was on Alex Smalley. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to explain to you what it is. I looked at all the lead-in stats and found a trend that happened with almost every PGA Championship, almost every, or at least what the rule that I called it is a 2/3 rule. I actually even said this about every stat. You know, like when it comes to stat stacking, you know, that, you know, Ben Raza kind of coined or whatever. It's like that worked one time. It doesn't work all the time. You want a 2/3 rule. Have 4 of your golfers follow these stats, whereas the other 2 can just be whomever. So here's what I did. The trend that I found was at least 3. You wanted at least 3, but 3 to 4 golfers in every top 10 of the PGA Championship had a top 6 finish heading into, like, within the last 7 weeks, heading into the PGA Championship. So you can see if you just go down the list, Scotty had a couple seconds. The best finish Rory had was a first, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so if I were to sort this, you know, by leaderboard, you had 3 golfers that were in the optimal lineup. This kind of goes along with what I was saying. Now, were you going to pinpoint Smalley or Kitayama? I mean, I pinpointed Smalley. Smalley was a guy that I wanted in my lineups for no other real reason other than his strokes gained stats were good, and he had this qualifier of having like a second place finish heading into the event. So I wanted to point that out because that's what the red salaries on the left stand for. So if I clear, or if I get rid of that, I mean, you wanted to build a lineup with at least 3 of those golfers. I guess the GPP winner, trying to count how many he had. He only had 2. Never mind. I thought I saw 6, or I thought I saw 3. Anyways, but that kind of, I didn't know if I should stretch it out to top 20s. I just stretched it out to top 8s. I think it was top 7, top 8s.
Seems like it made sense, man. You had to have been in control of your game this week coming in, for sure. You couldn't have found it. You know, all of these guys have been playing well. If you take a look at that, you know, except for Cam Smith, really.
Well, take out Liv. Just take out Liv, all the Liv golfers, and you run down this leaderboard. It's a 5th place finish for Rye, Smalley second, Oberg 4th, 13th for JT, 1st for Rory, 9th for Xander, and then Cam Smith is a Liv. Then we have 3rd place for Rose, Liv for Reed, so we'll skip him too. But like, look at all of this, all of it. I'm going down the leader. What's the worst finish? 13th, I guess, for JT.
Yeah. It's crazy. You have to have been playing well.
Insane. By the way, there was a moment on as I was watching today that I think there were like 4 live golfers inside the top 5 of the leaderboard. I was thinking, Yako was up there. I was thinking to myself, holy shit, Liv could finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then what will that do? You know, like all the Liv drama that's been happening. Like, what will that do? That'd have been crazy.
And now it's what, only one, John Rahm and Cam Smith 7th. So
right,
they came close. But again, man, the stretch down the stretch was when the golf needed to be played.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Neiman's now what? That's 18th. That's his 2nd top 20 in a major, I think. So he's stacking them up now. PGA Championships. That's where he's getting all of his credentials.
Yeah.
He had an 8th place finish last year. So anyway.
Wow. Crazy, man. Crazy,
man.
I didn't highlight Rye, by the way, why his is not highlighted red, is because I didn't count the alternate event.
You know, Darbo, I have a confession, and it sucks because I did 20 lineups and I forgot to edit the 18 of them. So I had 3 lineups one of one, one of one, and then one of 18 duplicates.
Oh.
And the 18 dupes finished like 5 points out of the money. And it was
Oh.
a four of six because it had rye in it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it was crazy. And I finally got my ass kicked by my trends because Patrick Cantley hadn't lost strokes in round 3 this year. I put a full unit on him to be the round 3 leader, top 5, top 10. Patrick Cantley lost 5 strokes on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Like 5. Just, it wasn't even like a little bit. He just, at the moment I touch anyone with the bet, sometimes it's just like the most outlandish outlier variable thing happened. Like I put a unit on him, boom, Patrick Cantley minus 5 strokes. You know, like, my God. So
I actually here's a real question for you. I know we've kind of talked about this in the past, just like what here and there. Not so. I don't even know how to say it, but with golf, since golf has so many peaks and valleys, where do you think the cutoff point is when it comes to? You've heard me talk about this linear progression thing that I'm kind of anti. You know, I'm kind of not for.
yeah.
But like, so you just said, you know, Cantley hasn't, you know, done this for how many X amount of tournaments, X amount of rounds or whatever. Do you think there's just a, you know, if I were to look at every person's every person's results on round 3, and I keep seeing this trend of 5 straight events where they have positive strokes gained stats, and then the 6th event, for whatever reason, they always have negative. Would that be something like, is that something you ever look into? Like,
not necessarily.
okay.
I think I was just looking at the fact that it was since the 2025 Masters. That's only the second time he's lost strokes on a Saturday.
Okay.
So it's been like a consistent thing. And even in my write-up, I was like, look at everything else he's doing. He's one of 2 people that have only gained 2 strokes ball striking both days.
Mm-hmm.
So even without that Saturday thing, I was like, he's playing well. He's inside the top 10 right now.
Gotcha.
And he's every other box we wanted also checked, but also the fact that it was a Saturday made me even more bullish on that.
Gotcha.
And it was a Saturday before I was like, okay, he can still find himself in the lead of a major
Mm-hmm.
and then shit the bed on Sunday.
Yeah.
No, he did that early. He did that really early because I think he went 2 under par early. I think through the first 5 or 7 holes, he was too deep. And I was like, oh, this is looking good, dude.
Yeah.
And then I think he went like 7 over par on the next couple. So
damn,
it was insane. I just had some guys really putt badly and all that. I have I can't pull up my stuff on the screen because I don't know how to get into my Underdog account on my computer, but I have 3 of 11 3 of 11 albatrosses for the majors through. So now into the US Open, and I only did about 30 lineups.
Okay.
So I've had like a really good advance rate in those
that's awesome, dude.
contests, and then I'm still in second and first place in the $150 Mayo Underdog contest. One of them I'm like kind of like 90 points ahead of second, so that one's almost in. And I've got 3 scrambles of 11 that are sitting inside first place. So I can get 3 to the final contest leg as of right now. And I'm well up on the field when it comes to entry. Can I show you this really cool tool, actually?
Absolutely.
2 seconds. This guy Schneider in our Discord, he made a really amazing tool that you can go to and use this to find your best ball stuff. It's bb-golf.com, and you can go, okay, here's the scramble. You can type in, okay, username. Here we go. Yeah, my teams. I've got the 31st best team points wise sitting in freaking sec. No, sorry. It's good to go, I think. But no, 16 points back. That's insane.
Damn.
So you can see this, like where your guys
That's
are.
cool.
And then you can go to the tournaments over here, and you can go to the CJ Cup, and then you can see, okay, these are your teams that you've got through. These are the percentage of teams that have 25% of teams have a 5-person team. Only 16% of teams have 6 people playing this week. You can go and see your own name, and then you can see how you compare to the field average. And I've got one of every 3 teams, so 4 teams on my 11 has a 6, and then I've got 2 teams that have 7. So like I've got the CJ because of the tool. This is one of the weaknesses of the schedule from the Dog Dominator that pointed out. So I have serious waiting for the CJ Cup because they're going to be scoring like minus 20 something, going deep, making a lot of fantasy points. And as you can see, like the majority of people have 4 and 5s in their teams. My squads they stacked, and a couple of them got Scotty in it too. So
all right,
kind of cool to kind of see what you can get up to on this site. It's really, really interesting.
That is a cool site.
Yeah, I think you can go the Albatross. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited. Like that's going well for me on that side of things.
Yeah, man, I wish. So my league lineup. So I question why I do these league lineups ever, or why I'm ever in a league, because I always build unique lineups, and they are meant to win a GPP.
Yeah.
I don't ever take the time to try to build a quote unquote cash lineup.
Yeah.
And I just have had such bad luck. I'm like almost always in last place when it comes to these league lineups. Like I won at the Cadillac. I won that one for having one of my good lineups to show up there. So I either hit a home run or I strike out, essentially. And I've been striking out way more than I've been hitting home runs. So it's one of those things I absolutely hate. I don't care about really my DFS. Well, I do care about how much money I lose. I don't really care about how much money I win. I just want at the end of the year to be break even at least. But because the league lineup is all on its own, I constantly, like, when I look at it, I'm like, why am I even in this? I don't even understand why I'm doing this. I don't really think that hard into that lineup. I hit my randomizer on my optimizer to switch wherever my lineups are, just to have randoms, whatever. Sometimes I look at my lineup and I go, no, that can't be my league lineup. And then I'll change it or whatever. This week, I think I just had some bum golfers in there. I don't even remember who it was, but I only bring all that up because that's the only thing that reminds me of your success in Underdog, since I'm not having all my lineups are done.
Yeah, well, you didn't have enough volume. That's the thing about Underdog, man. Is like you need volume to like get your guys through, because there's an elimination rate that's hard to overcome when you got so little whatevers.
Right.
Let's get to the CJ Cup. I'm excited to like uncover some trends and shit that we usually do for this part of the show. It's like one of my favorite parts.
Close that. I'm going to just, we'll keep that up. Lead-in stats. I like to start here.
Yes.
The lead-in stats for the Byron Nelson. So if you're ever on my site, I have short names for these tournaments. That way, if it has some weird name elsewhere, it just all is like, it's the master name, basically. So Byron Nelson. And the cheat sheet is updated from the next week button with the Byron Nelson information. We'll come back to this. We'll flip through the two pages, the two tools. Okay. So in 2025, I guess I'm going to start here, looking at recent form heading into the event, as well as kind of course history.
Do we want to put the recent form filters on?
Oh, we want to, yeah. Well,
or do we want to just mess around like this?
I just look at the recent form on this, just right here for 2025.
Okay.
Look how bad it is.
Oh God. Yeah, this is a much better representation.
This is going to be
this is exact. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll sort by course history and recent form, and we'll see how it shakes out throughout
No,
all the
I mean,
years.
this
But
is
I'm just
obviously this is like obviously.
telling you right now, I don't think we're going to be able to do those filters and find our, what do we call them, our elite grouping. It's just not going to happen.
Well, at least 2025.
Uh,
And I was saying this on the spaces with Tom and Marty's and Jim.
what's that?
I was on Twitter Spaces with Larry and Tom and Marty's and Jim Cummings.
Okay.
They were just doing like a preview of the week ahead, some tests, of numbers out there in the outright market, because DraftKings has got their odds out there already.
Gotcha.
I was like, if anyone played badly last week, I'm not too worried about it, because last week you need to hit fairways and dial in the wedges. This
Mhm.
week it's opposite, like just bang drive out there and hit your long irons well. So that's essentially, any like recent form doesn't really matter because of what the course was. The demands are totally different. Like Johnny Vegas finishing 44th at the PGA Championship is like kind of exciting for me, because he's coming out to a golf course that like makes a lot more sense for him, kind of thing. This is what I was getting at. Yeah. So
okay. Course history. We have only 3 finishes of these 20-some golfers on the screen of the best course history heading into the event. That's all this. Just to remind people, these are lead-in stats. So this has been captured before the beginning of the tournament. This is what their course history was. So this is sorted from best to worst, and we only have 3 people in the top 20 of course history. If we filter on, or if we sort by recent form, we only got 4 golfers that finished inside the top 20. So, I mean, we can actually dissect this even more. Look at who our, high price golfers are, or the people that are up here. I mean, sure, Scheffler, yep, Spieth, okay. Not saying Spieth was one of the best golfers last year heading into this event, although he did have some good.
This is the exact same stuff. We're gonna get the exact same stuff from Spieth again.
Yeah. But then there's Sung Jae, and this is recent form we're looking at, not course history. He was $10,000, finished 33rd. When Mac Hughes is $9,100, when in a typical Scheffler field, he would be $60 or $6,000 or whatever, kind of tells you how bad the strength of field is.
But Mac was playing like he had a 3rd and a 10th leading into that. He was like, I think I remember trying to bet him top 10s at this point in time last year. He was doing some good stuff.
And this is kind of a perfect thing to bring up. Really never during Mackenzie Hughes's career have we ever thought of him as a $9,000 golfer, unless he's playing in an alternate event. So when you see someone like Mac Hughes being $9,100, even if it's a bad field like this one, this isn't an alternate event or whatever, it kind of makes sense that he's not going to perform well despite having good recent form heading into the event.
Yeah. I'm curious, Darbo, because what was Scotty's price last year?
13. Let me bring it back up. 13.3.
Because he last year, price wise, at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson, to win was plus 280. And this year he's plus 135. So
he was what last year?
He was plus 280. Yeah. So here is the CJ Cup Byron Nelson for Scotty Scheffler. He was plus 280 to win the tournament. He was minus 164 to top 5, minus 700 to top 20, and minus 300 for top 10. Right now, Scotty Scheffler is plus 135.
Wow.
So, if you're taking a look at his odds being plus 280, it's less than half. So I would imagine we are seeing this probably be the closest to 15 Scheffler will ever be, because this isn't, unless they start figuring out their price, this is always the fun part about what we get up to when we take a look at the pricing as well. I'm sorry, I hijacked this part of the show.
No, yeah.
It's worth noting that he may be unplayable this week, given the fact that he's basically even money to win a golf tournament. This is Tiger Woods-esque stuff, price-wise, odds-wise. And
I
the fact that
guess
nobody else is inside the top 10 to 1 is like insane.
I could try to make an opposing argument to that, where I would agree with you in most tournaments. If we look at last year, here were your salaries. It was 3 guys that were in the 10K and above range: Sung Jae, Jordan, and then Scheffler. You had Burns, that was $9,800. Benny Ann, Siwoo, Jaeger, and then a bunch of guys that you would find in the 6K range now. Excuse me. My argument would be, well, I guess I'm going to eat my words a little bit here. You actually had Spieth and Burns finish good enough to where you could, well, here's the other issue. Okay, so yeah, you've got Jordo and Burns 4th and 5th, 10-5, 9-8. Then you could go down to Eric Cole 8,100, but that's just one 8K golfer out of all of the 8K golfers. So if you go from 10 down to 9, I'm going to use a different tool actually for this.
Dude, that was a bloodbath in that mid-range there.
Yes,
Holy
yes, it was.
Shit, that was insane.
It's just one
wiped out.
Yeah, it's just 1 year though, just 1 year that we're looking at so far. So, I agree with you, but I also don't want to get too caught up in that. But I'm going to build a lineup and I want to see how close we can actually get to $50,000 of the salary if we were perfect with our pricing. So you would have to have had Eric Cole. Let's pretend you didn't get Eric Cole. Could you build a lineup that was good enough to take down the GPP with 7K golfers and still use up? No, you wouldn't. Not even close.
Throwing Ricky Castillo in there at his price.
So there's 6 golfers right there. We're at 49.6.
Hey.
Okay. 10-5, 9-8, 7-6, 7-6, 7-1, and 7,000. Oh, I honestly didn't think we were gonna get there.
But look how weird that lineup is, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will also say this too. That's very narrow lineup building. Like, it has to be, you could maybe go, okay, so this scored 671 points. Maybe you can go from Castillo to Goddard. Now you're going to lose 12 points. Like, it goes down considerably. It goes to 649.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could go down one more to Putnam, but you'd be leaving $500 on the table instead of $400 on the table. All I'm getting at here is you have to be extremely precise with the golfers you select, because there's no forgiveness for picking the wrong golfers. And we're picking, when we're doing this is the absolute best lineup you can build following the prices. So that scored 671. I'm going to remove this. What was the GPP winner? What did they score? 751. Oh, no. Yeah, GPP winner. 751 points. The optimal score is 787. So I'm going to go back to this again. Was it 671? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
That's without going to Eric Cole, dropping down to Sam Stevens, Kurt Kitayama. We wanted Castillo in there, and Vince Whaley is what I put in there. Yeah, 671. You weren't even close. You didn't even sniff. That's 80 points behind first place.
Without Scotty.
That's without Scotty. So, and that's the other thing too is, Scotty boat raced everybody last year, right?
So many more points.
Yeah.
So many more points.
Yeah. I'm trying to
at 47% ownership. That's insane.
Yeah, okay, so he was 31 under. The next closest guy was 23 under. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say he's not playing as good a golf as he was last year, so people are going to actually narrow the gap of whatever that lead might be. Let's just pretend he had, let's say he he still won the tournament, but he won at 24 under instead of 31 under. Let's get rid of 7 birdies. Is that right? 7? Yeah, 7 birdies. Let's get rid of 7 birdies. That's 21 points. So if we got rid of 21 points, he still scores 150 points. And then that one lineup of the GPP would go from 750 points down to 730. So it still takes down by 60 points.
Yeah.
So even if Scotty doesn't win, or let's just, I don't even know, let's pretend he scores 100. Say he scores 140.
Like I can see it happening. There's definitely a world where this happens, but he's also just not like, he's not dialed right now. Like he's not Scotty.
Oh my God. This was that lineup that won the GPP winner. Had Scheffler, then went down to Cole at 8,100. Remember that 8K range? You said it was a bloodbath. It was nasty. Look at this. Miscut. 39th, missed cut. 5th, missed cut. 33rd. Not great.
Yeah. Dude, insane.
So,
okay. How did 2024 look?
We have I have the filters on, by the way. Let me get rid of the filters. Here's your 2024 Byron Nelson, Taylor Penrith one. We want to do course history and recent. I mean, look at the course history and recent form again.
Yeah, it's you just got to find your guys. There's it doesn't seem like there's much. There's not many clues right now.
I sort by course history, I'm going to keep the empties here. So when we scroll through, I mean, look at first time players: Smalley, Hisatsune, Semikawa, Knapp, Pendrith. Pendrith being a first time player at this event, winning the event. So really, course history doesn't really matter.
And this course, it's like the 5th time that they played it now.
Yeah, so I have that up here. TPC Craig Ranch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This year will be the 6th year. Yeah. But back in 2024, they'd only played it 3 years. Anyways, here you go. And I should say course history is tournament history on this page, because this just encompasses all of the finishes dating back to 2013. So that's different golf courses.
That's relevant. So,
if you want to check out the course history, you can certainly click on course history and just see, their course history based off of their
the name of the tournament is going to impact what's going to happen. I went on a big rant about this last week.
Well, here's the only thing that I'm going to say why I think tournament history, you can still look at tournament history versus course history, is because this is a Texas event. Byron Nelson's name's attached to it.
Fair.
AT&T used to be the, whatever. Obviously, it's not that anymore. So you're going to get more Koreans that are going to come here and play because it's the CJ Cup. You're going to have the same golfers playing this event over and over again, whereas you're not going to get some of the other golfers like Rory or whatever to play this event. So if the same golfers continue to show up, you can almost call it a strength of field, contest or strength of field history.
Fair.
Where it's like, depending on who's in the field, how do these golfers perform? How do they measure up?
No, I'm just being sassy.
I know.
We're an hour in now. I'm starting to get like a little loose with the goose, yeah.
Oh, I'm getting sassy back. Anyways, I still think it's worth showing, because if I'm capturing these stats heading into the event, you can use them or not. It still paints a picture of what it looks, whether it's relevant or not.
It's just not relevant.
Yeah, here's your.
It's not relevant.
Well, some of your best recent form heading into this event in 2024, 11, or well, it doesn't really matter, but you have 5 finishes that were respectable. Nobody won, but Norin was $9,500. When I think of this, or when I look at some of this recent form, I kind of ignore like a Kelly Craft. I mean, Siwoo, that's a good finish too. I don't even know why I skipped over him. But even like a $6,900 Kevin Tway, I'm also not really thinking about Kevin Tway. in this scenario or in these situations. 2025, you got 5 golfers again with good recent form heading into the event, but they're all your kind of high price guys. Scheffler, Spieth. See, Matt McCarty, I would have ignored. Probably would have ignored Eric Cole
recent
also.
form outside of 40s is just like, I'm not. That's the third bucket of form.
Yes, right.
It's like,
here's 2023. But it's better. Recent form heading in. It's worth noting too that this Byron Nelson is following the PGA Championship, whereas 2025's was the Zurich, 2024 was the Zurich, and then it was Wells Fargo Championship. I can show you on the screen. I don't make you feel like I'm looking at something random. Yeah, 2025, the Zurich was the tournament right before. 2024, Zurich. 2023, Wells Fargo Championship. 2022, Wells Fargo. 2021, Wells Fargo. 2019, Wells Fargo. And then it was the Players Championship in 2018. Players Championship in 2017. Same. Okay, so
yeah.
what happened?
The first time it's been after the PGA, because didn't Jason Day win this and then go to the PGA and like just as a broken man? Didn't get to practice until Tuesday because he was doing presses and.
Oh yeah,
like,
was this? Are you asking? Was it the tournament that preceded?
I just remember him winning this tournament and then going to the PGA Championship at Oak Hill and not playing well. It was like 2 years ago, 2024 or whatever. So yeah.
So yeah, you had all these different tournaments. So 2018 is when the Players Championship. I just want to see what this looks like. Tournament stats. 20. That was at Trinity. It was the first year. It was at Trinity Forest. Was in 2018, and then the first year that it was at TPC Craig Ranch was 2021. That didn't really. I don't remember that changing in the schedule, right? Nah, it was Wells Fargo. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking maybe with the changes of golf courses hosting this event, that's also the change of the schedule where it was in the schedule.
This just gets banged around to fit wherever it needs to go.
That's correct. That's correct. So even the week before the the tournament that's the week before, how much relevance does it really have? When it comes to.
Yeah, it's almost like a big picture thing versus,
And none of these events, I mean, the Players Championship, sure, but that's back in 2018. Do you really want to go that far back and try to analyze what happened?
For me, it's up until 2021, right? That's when they've been playing at this golf course.
Right.
So
right.
I didn't really care about anything before that.
Right. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this, bring this back over here, and get back to the lead-in stats. So, yeah, here's your recent form. I mean, it's better.
But it's Scotty.
Yes, right. And like, again, having this being your first time playing this event, you can have success here.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that have good course history, again, not that relevant. There's Scheffler. Ooh, Adam Scott. These are good golfers, regardless of like how well they typically play at this golf course. Or this tournament. Yeah.
Playing this week.
This is kind of better, but just I don't know, Byron. What do you make of all this?
I think it's just like projection more this week. Like who's gonna fit this week's course the best? I think you got to find value. Like it's not gonna be the answers aren't obvious this week. Like you've shown you, the recent form is so iffy. You can have some guys, obviously the guys that are elite have good recent form. Scotty, Hideki, they're going to have played well. And then I think it's just, there's no real rule this week, Darbo. It's just kind of choose your own journey.
Yeah, I will say when we were going through recent form there, as the years went further back, the recent form did matter more, whereas last year it didn't. and I don't know if last year was just one of those outliers that we can ignore and just take everything else into fact. But I would say like 4 golfers that have a recent form better than what you see on the screen at the bottom, 36.67 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say pick 4 or 5 of these golfers, or not 4 or 5, 3 or 4 of these golfers, and be comfortable to build your lineups around them. And personally, I would take more of your expensive golfers because that's what we saw the biggest trend.
Yeah.
Does Brooks Koepka get his first win here? Do you think Brooks could win here? No. The best
you got to make putts. You got to make putts.
That's
make
true.
Birdies, man. Like maybe he has an inspired putting week. I think if he does have a week that he spikes with the putt, it's on Bermuda. That's probably the best chance he has. I'm curious. Leading strokes gain numbers. Is there anything like?
Yeah, we can look at that.
Just for the last 4 years or whatever.
Absolutely, that would be.
I think maybe we need to try find something to dial in here because.
Oh, I agree. It would be one of those worthless videos.
Kind of looking meaningless right now. We've got to salvage the video. Yeah. Okay. Here's this trends you're looking for. No trends, friends. Thank you for watching 70 minutes of us talk.
But it is going through and making double checking that hey, whatever you listen to this week. Stop listening because it doesn't matter,
They're lying to you.
This
is the only show you need to listen to. And
that's right.
The point we want to make to you is that nothing you listen to is going to matter.
Yeah, that's how you sell it right there, Byron. That's how you sell it. Just go watch our show. We'll show you everything. You don't need to watch anyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everything we're telling you is what you don't even need to know.
Correct. Off the tee.
Hit the like, get the subscribe, by the way.
Yes.
Please,
yes.
On both channels.
Strokes gained off the tee already in 2025. You only had 2 golfers inside the top 20 that had negative off the tee, or 3 golfers, it looks like. Everyone else had positive. And I say 3, I mean 4. Because you had Chandler Phillips, that was pretty much break even. You had Andrew Putnam, who was really bad. Antoine Rosner, that was break even. And then Eric Cole, that was in the negatives. So do we see the same? No, we don't even see the same ball striking. I mean, just in 2025, off the tee is the only thing that stayed consistent. I would love to try to do a ball striking, adding off the tee and approach and say you want to get to a certain number, but look at these guys are terrible with approach.
Yeah. I would love you to add that column to this.
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. Okay.
That and short game. Get rid of tee to green. Tee to green to me is way less meaningful than isolating the 2 buckets, the short game and
I imagine I added this, Byron, because
straight from the data golf.
I just needed one more field to fill out this table to make it look clean, instead of having it stretched out. But yeah, I could add ball striking and short game.
Or just ball striking, whatever. But
Yeah. I can do that. Going into 2024, we know Pendrith is a bomber, he hits the ball far. So his off the tee stats would be more or less along the lines of him just not being accurate. We know he hits it far.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot more guys with poor iron plays succeeding.
Yeah.
Whereas most guys are driving the ball really nicely, doing good work. Yeah.
It's a lot of green on the, if you sort by off the tee, it's a lot of green, but then there's also missed cuts in there. Going with approach here, less approach.
Yeah.
So going back to 2025, this is sorted by approach. Again, less approach. Well, we already know it's going to be less approach, but you just saw. Well, it's, what would you call like a Christo Lamprecht and then a Cameron Champ? Like, are they just like super niche off the tee guys? Like their whole character is I blast the ball off the tee.
I think that's where they'll thrive. Obviously, I mentioned Christo is like 400 to 1 to win this tournament.
I only mention it because they're, so last year, Christo was the longest driving golfer that was in the field.
Yeah.
In 2024, Cameron Champ was the longest driving golfer in the field. Now, Not great approach, not great around the green, not great putting. Is it the same with Christo? Yeah, terrible approach, not super great around the green, but putting is better. So it looks like, I mean, what is the trend that we see? Well, first of all, let's look at this. Cameron Champ is the only guy that has a good finish with negative approach with this from this list of off the tee guys. So it's like Cam Champ, yeah, he finished 15th. The other guy has a negative. The next guy that has a negative approach finished 56th. The next guy missed cut. Next guy missed cut. Next guy missed cut. Come down to Aldrich. He missed the cut here too in 2025. And then you come down to the next, like atrociously negative approach golfer and Harry Higgs. He missed the cut. Sam Stevens had lost strokes gained, but I mean, I guess
if you're a
0.2.
really bad iron player, you've got no chance here, basically, except for if your name's Cam Champ.
Right. So I mean, there's that in 2025. Do we see that in 2024 with the guys that have? I mean, there's negative right here.
The really
miscut.
bad iron player is just an immediate eliminator.
Yeah, it's I don't really see any negatives that have. Now here's a top 10: Rafael Campos.
Yeah.
Another top 10: Taiga Samakawa. Good luck finding those guys, by the way. Good luck finding those golfers.
Those guys on what is this per round, right? Per round, so average.
That's
if you're averaging like 0.4 or less, if you're losing more than 0.4 strokes on approach, that seems to be like the perfect cutoff. There's guys underneath that seem to sneak through the cracks a little bit.
Yep.
0.4 or 0.5 for certain is like if you're losing half a stroke on approach per round.
Kind of almost say 0.3 if you want to get like really specific, because like that's, as I was going through this, 0.3 seems to be the threshold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tiger and Campos.
Oh, you're saying with okay, yeah,
still like 0.4 underneath.
I see. Okay.
What does 2023 look like?
2023. Here you go with another negative guy missing cut. Negative guy 50. Negative guy 70. Negative guy 23. Negative guy 50. This is break even. Austin Necro, but that's technically negative. Just throwing that out there. You can finish second. Another negative here, 77th place. Negative here, 85th. That's a miscut. I'm not sure what this number is supposed to be for Percy.
It's probably 0.0000.
It might be, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. And then Gligic, he also was negative and missed the cut. So it's like, if you are going to find a good off the tee guy, just make sure he's not losing a boatload of approach. Not even boatload. 0.4 is kind of the threshold that we both agreed upon.
And it seems like you can find some guys that are like drive well, and can putt. You know, like team driver putter type situation.
Yeah. Let's just look at 2022. Well, we go back to 2021 for TPC Craig Ranch, right?
Yes. Yeah. Since COVID.
Yeah, 2021. All right. Negative miscut. Negative 76. Negative 38. Negative miscut. Negative 32nd. Negative 69th. Break even, but missed the cut. And then it's all positive. But there's nobody really at the top of the leaderboard here that really finished all that great regardless.
It's just like such a mystery.
Here we go. Here's fifth, and third. Approach just eating it up.
Good drivers hitting really good approach play. Yeah.
Here's a couple negative approach guys, but like we said, negative 0.4 is the threshold, and they both match. They both beat that.
Yeah, and can do some stuff with the putter. Like they not doing terrible.
All right. Let's see what we can get with 2021. I already feel like we already know what filters to put in our cheat sheet. It's pretty much break even. That's a 55th. There's a negative there, 55th. Negative here, miscut. Break even here, but again, negative. 9th. Negative 0.3, 26th. Negative, Jesus, Cole Hammer. Young kid. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, I think we know what to do, right? Let's go here to the bucket system filters. Or no, can we just do this instead? Yeah, let's do this instead. So negative approach, we want our lowest number to be 0.4.
0.4.
And we want off the tee to be positive, right?
Like 0.2.
0.2? Okay. Here are our golfers. Now, this is I haven't updated OWGR since PGA Championship. I don't even know if they have the updates made. So just throwing that out there. This hasn't been updated yet since the results of the PGA. It will be tomorrow. This is from last week at the conclusion of, what was last week's tournament?
Truist.
Yes, Truist. Okay. So we have Scotty at the top. Siwoo, Aaron Rai, Michael Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
That's at 0.408. I wonder why it is at. Do I need to specify? Oh, no.
That's for
Dang
on
it.
the green.
Hit the logo. That goes to the home screen.
Oh, no.
Going off the rails. Off the tee, we said 0.2. Approach. You know what? I'm kind of curious. Let's just do 0. And negative 0.400. That's not going to change anything. Okay. Do we just want to talk about these golfers as we go down here, or are we trying to find
like, are they good fits? Are they like, what are we thinking? Like just feels, because I think Aaron Rai is going to withdraw, obviously.
Most likely. Yep, I agree. So I think Aaron Rai. So yeah, okay, let's just go down the list. Scheffler depends on his price tag, right? If he's over 14,000, I don't know if I get there.
I think he's going to be.
Yeah. And I guess if we look at this field, this is all sort of by OWGR. It doesn't look like a great field so far.
I think technically it's better than last year's field, at least for like the next guy's in, or maybe the odds are weird, because I wanted to take a look here. Like if you take a look at the odds from last year, Scotty was plus 280, and then it was 18 to 1, 25 to 1, 25 to 1, 30 to 1. There's tens, at least. Spieth is shorter than he was last. So,
okay. I have a strength of field of 198. Is what I have. I don't know why this hasn't been updated properly yet. We have filters on. That's why. 198. And at sweetspotdfs.com, under Fantasy Tools Tournament Stats, you can see what the previous strength of fields have been. So 256, 209, 223, 371, 298. So this is the weakest strength of field event, barely, but all the way since 2018.
Since they played here,
That's right. Yeah.
And I don't think it makes sense. It's the week after the PGA Championship. I'd imagine anyone playing in the PGA Championship of a big name would want to get a rep in, a couple guys.
Just to show you this is kind of funny. So Scotty Scheffler is bringing 50 strength of field points
of the 198.
Yeah, so it's 148 strength of field without Scotty in the field. He's 1/4 of the strength of field.
More, yeah, technically more.
Yeah, technically more.
Incredible.
So, cheat sheet. We're looking at the golfers. So, I don't know what these price tags are going to be for these golfers. You're right. I think this could be the closest we get Scheffler to 15,000. Just based off of the strength of field, your odds that you were showing. If DraftKings is going to follow suit with everything they've done in the past.
Unless they understand that the game can't be played. But again, what was he used? 13,300,
yeah.
And he was 47% owned.
Yep.
At 13.3. What is like a price and ownership that DraftKings is like cool with? 25%.
Oh, we were looking at this one, right?
Is that what they're trying to get it to? Because when half the field's on someone that's 13.3, and it's optimal,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
then the game's like not even fun anymore. Then it's like, what are we really doing? So I'm curious to what they do. They're probably going to still keep him fairly priced, probably 13.9.
Well, yeah, and he did drop into the 13,000s during the signature events. Like
Yeah.
they finally got him down.
But again, dude, maybe there's a 5K range and he's just like ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
That is that's a very interesting thought. Could there be, yeah, like you said, could there be a $15,000 Scheffler with a 5K range? And this is like the Tour Championship?
Scotty Scheffler's, he was plus 140 to win the Euro World Challenge end of last year. Plus
That was the
210.
closest?
That's the closest he's been to
Odds-wise?
Odds-wise. And that's like a small field.
The
This
14-man
is
field, yeah.
Then he was 2-1 at the Pro Core, plus 230 at the BMW Championship, 230 at the Waste Management. So, like, what was he price wise at the BMW at the Waste Management this year?
He was 14 something. Let's take a look.
So, if that was the case, then we are obviously looking at something that's in banana land territory, because this will be the lowest he's ever been. He's priced at odds that he's lower than for a 16-man tournament.
Nope, wrong. 14,500 at WM Phoenix Open.
I mean, buddy. And that was plus 230.
Yeah.
He's plus 135.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be ridiculous.
And he was 27% owned at that price. So a quarter of the field still had him in lineups at 14.5.
And he finished third. I think he was part of the Sweet Spot Optimal. No, never mind.
Part of GPP?
I don't think he was in the GPP either.
Because he didn't win.
Nope, he wasn't.
Hideki got her up, needed to be in the lineups. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It may be a week to get off of him this week if he's at that price. So
I'm going to try to build a lineup here quickly to see if we can beat a GPP winning lineup. I just don't think you're going to have to drop into that 6K range. And we've had these conversations about
the permutations.
Oh, there's 50,000 right there. 641.5. That would be a 14.5. The winner got her up at 8,300. Then a 69, 64, 63, along with the $7,600 golfer. That's 641 is what that lineup scored, and the GPP winner scored 663. So you couldn't even win a GPP putting a Scotty in your lineup. You weren't even close. You were 20 points behind.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's that next range cleans up because they're finishing second and third.
Mm-hmm.
And you just need that combo because you're missing both those guys in your lineup.
Yeah. Well, and it is, again, worth noting that we're looking at the WM Phoenix Open. We look at past Byron Nelsons. I mean, like, your leaderboard. Okay, so last year your leaderboard was decent with salaries. If we're sorting by salary again, you did have a first, a fourth, a fifth, and a 15th, all $9,400 and above. 2024. Okay, I'm with you now. I see more. These high price golfers are finishing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If Scotty is very high price. Just look at the green that's below the highest price golfer. It doesn't even matter this says 11,900. Just picture this being 15,000 or 14,500 or something like that. Yeah. That alone just won't. You're going to have more success. Again, here's the other way to look at it too. Scotty with a bunch of 7 and 6s, or 2 or 3 guys that are $8,500 and above. And look at your options are smaller to pick the golfers here to find, 3 dudes to build your lineups around. Yeah. And the results are going to be better than, going, look at this. You go on the 7K range and you got a bunch of dark reds and pinks and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where you almost want just underneath the cream.
Yes.
that milk that's kind of turning into cream right now.
Yeah, I will build at least one lineup with Scotty in it, but this might be the first time that I don't really build a lot of lineups that have Scotty Scheffler in them.
Yeah, it seems that way, Darbo, especially, I don't know.
He's going to have to boat race like he did last year.
And he's not looking boat racy right now.
No, he's not. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, technically, he's got better finishes heading into this year's Byron Nelson than he did last year. What were his, let's see, strokes gained stats? 0.6 and 1.1. Well, we know he's not at 1.1.
No, his irons are, it's like almost half a stroke.
0.955.
But it's half a stroke per round that he's losing on his irons. He was like elite city last year.
Yeah.
But is that 1.2?
I mean, ball striking is, look at the tee to green is almost identical. 2.098, 2.090.
1.4.
Huh?
I was looking at the wrong number. Yeah, fine, whatever. But we know his price is going to be 13.3.
Correct. But the points, this is the thing. Here's the points. I'm going to do this a different way now. I'm going to go back to this page. I'm going to get rid of WM Phoenix Open, and I'm going to put in Byron Nelson. We're looking at last year's Byron. Not you, Byron, but Byron Nelson.
Mm-hmm. Which blows my mind how people don't know how to spell my name. Like, have they never heard of Byron Nelson or any of the black cornerbacks in the NFL?
Yeah.
Like, I've got all demographics covered, and people still don't know how to spell my name.
Well, you just got to remember, Americans have a 4th grade reading level. It might be even worse now. So, like, not like they actually can read letters and words. Barely. All right. So let's pretend Scotty is. Let's just put him at 15,000. You know, we're gonna put him from last year. We're gonna put him at 15,000. So 13.3. We're basically just gonna minus $2,000. We got to build a lineup that's 48,300, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put in Scotty, EVR, Sam Stevens, Gordon, Hubbard. Does Kanumi? So this actually leaves a lot of money on the table. This would be leaving $800 on the table.
6K guys. Who's gonna do that?
Wouldn't want to do that. We could maybe go from here to 7,600. Nope, this is $100 over. That's crazy. $100 over.
Matt McCarty, which dumps you all the way to 75 and then 15th.
Okay, so but we can use the same amount of points scored. Yeah, this is exactly this. This is, if we were to picture Scheffler at $15,000, you know, you add 1,700 there, 13.3 to 15,000. You add 1,700 there, that gets you to 50,000. So 778.5 points, and you would have to go Scotty at 15,000, 2 7s, and then 3 6s, a 68, a 67, and a 64. And that goes back to the whole calculations that we made with the 6K range and all that stuff. What is
the chances that you land up on EVR, who was 2% owned? Will Gordon, 0.1%, like not owned. Takumi Kanaya, not owned. Let's
just put this into perspective. I'm going to go back to here and let's find those golfers and look at a couple different things. Their recent form. Look at EVR. Like, kind of to your point, how are you going to get on Eric Van Rooyen? It's going to be off the tee stats. That's the only thing you're going to be able to get on.
Yeah, go strokes gained last 7 weeks. Let's see, maybe if that
it's not spectacular, but it is positive off the tee.
Driving it well. Most of these guys are driving it well.
Yeah, last year for sure everything was in the positive. But if we take all these golfers, EVR, Sam Stevens, who was our other golfers that we chose?
Takumi Kanaya, Will Gordon,
and Takumi Kanaya. So where's Will Gordon? Will Gordon's right here. He's positive. Takumi Kanaya, where did he finish?
There he is.
He finished 5th.
Middle of the screen.
Okay, right here.
There we go.
Yeah, positive. Big time positive. Matt McCarty was another one. He was positive off the tee as well. He's known for his putting, obviously. And then our last guy, was that our last guy? It was EVR, Sam Stevens. Yeah, we covered the 5. Off the tee, Byron.
Driving
off the tee.
Driving it well.
But recent form-wise, EVR coming in with miserable, like 3 missed cuts out of 4 tournaments. Sam Stevens, respectable, 1 top 20, I guess. Everything else is kind of hodgepodge, 55 average finishing position. We go down to Takumi Kanaya, a top 20, but then all missed cuts. 4 of the last 5 weeks were missed cuts. And then he did have an 18th place finish the week before. Will Gordon, all missed cuts. Vince Whaley.
Vegas, nasty.
Yeah, Vince Whaley was also in that. Or did we have Vince Whaley in that lineup?
Yeah, he's close.
Oh, he was close. He was the $100
too.
too expensive. That's what it was. Matt McCarty, actually not bad. Coming in with a few top 20s, but that's literally 2 golfers out of this lineup. It's Scotty, and then it would be Matt McCarty that had good recent form. Otherwise, again, EVR, terrible. Sam Stevens, terrible. Takumi Kanaya, terrible, -1 top 20. And then our last guy was Will Gordon, terrible.
Yeah.
1 top, or was it 2 top 20s of those 4 other golfers we were just talking about? Sam Stevens had a top 20, and Takumi Kanaya had a top 20. Just those 2 guys. Just 1 top 20 for each of them, and then but they still had an awful average finishing position for the last 7 weeks.
Yeah. So results, it's not really results-driven research we're looking for. It's statistic-based almost, like.
It is looking
who's
at
driving it well.
Off the tee. Yeah.
Go to 2024. Let's see what that did. Have we done this already? I can't remember.
Going through
less,
the stroke
still.
chain stats. Yeah, we.
Like the cheap guys that drive it well. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, not so much for Matt Wallace.
Well, yeah. But he's, short. That's one short game.
All
guru.
these cheapies have, good off the tee and bad approach play. There's our boy Alex Smalley. It's just this time of the year. Alex Smalley just performs well.
Mm-hmm.
Burger time.
Yeah. I think, I like, and if you just take a look at the last 7 weeks coming in kind of thing. Ooh, a little less. Okay, so we just get long-term good drivers of the golf ball.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane. Why were they so bad? What would happen?
They could have come through like the Florida swing. Depending on if it was before the PGA Championship in 2024 or whatever.
Yeah.
They've just come from weird places like Bay Hill, where your stuff can just get wrecked. Lots of water.
I just thought about a different filter to put on just to see what the tournaments were before. Like if you pull up the 2024 season, you could see the schedule on the left side, to
That'd
see
be
what
cool.
tournaments were right before. I got to do that.
Like yours. Yeah, like your sheets. Like your sheets.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, 2023. Maybe we can get some reprieve with the off the tee stuff. That looks better.
Oh yeah.
Again, like top of the board is just good drivers.
Yep.
Or a short game or 2 specialists here and there.
Yep.
And last 7. Better.
Yep.
So I think in general, like if you're driving it well or just are a good driver of the golf ball, you got a good crack at doing something. Yeah.
It's hard to say. Okay. What I want to. Okay, let's do this. I want to go over this, but go really quick. I want to find the worst drivers that are $8,000 or up. So just to show that you could play bad drivers if they're cheap, but ignore the bad drivers that are expensive, or vice versa, one of the two. It's like
Eric Cole would be it, maybe.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even consider him a bad driver. To me, this is break even. It's 0.0. Yeah, it says
So
negative,
technically
but
bad.
it's 0.0. But yeah, of these high price golfers, there's Burns. He's barely. Oh, Jesus, I forgot that he was
It's all
kind of in a
putting.
slump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no one really in 2024 or 2025. 2024, Norton was positive. Rye was positive. Benny Ann was positive. Jake. Oh, Jesus. Jake Knapp was negative.
Yeah.
But we know him as a bomber.
Yeah.
We even knew that.
He can have a good driving day any given day. That was also probably when he hit 1 million of golf balls into the water at Bay Hill. Is Bay Hill within the last 7 weeks of this, like...
Well, here, I'll bring this back over here. We want to look at what, 2024?
Arnold Palmer? No. It's not
What year were we just looking at? I forget. 2024, yeah. 2024. So, but you did have Players Championship.
Yeah.
And the Masters, which I think he would have played in.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he?
Because he'd won Mexico.
Yeah. So 45th.
Or maybe he won Mexico after that. I don't know. Yeah.
Houston miscut. Heritage. How do you lose strokes out at the Heritage though? It had to be like the Masters and Players, right? That he made the cut at.
Houston.
Well, here we can do this. I'm so curious. I want to know.
Yeah, me too.
It doesn't make any sense. Oh God, he did lose a ton at the RBC Heritage.
Look at the Arnold Palmer.
You were right about. Are we looking at full year? It's not last
in the
seven.
Last 7. But it's definitely in the last year. Like that is going to skew you a lot because you lost that.
For sure, absolutely. Minus 0.4. Yeah, you're on to something there. Wait. Where were we? Yeah, minus 11. That's really gonna hurt. That was what, hole 5, I imagine.
Or 6
or 6, whatever the par 5 was. Yeah,
the John Daly hole. Bryson hole.
Yeah, there's the Players that, as I kind of predicted, but RBC Heritage, that's crazy. I don't.
Yeah,
that's weird to think.
There's OB there, like random. You can just lose strokes randomly quite quickly at round RBC Heritage.
And he didn't really quite gain that much off the tee at, at the Byron Nelson, but he gained a ton on approach.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess if a guy is a bomber, like Jake Knapp at $8,000, he's a name. You know that name. You've heard of that name before. He'd won on the tour.
Overall skill set is. It suits this course.
That's correct. So even if you see a negative stat next to his off the tee stats, you kind of know to largely ignore that because that you need context to come with it. That's my biggest thing is you got to know context. And if you see a minus 11 strokes at the API, you probably should look into it and see where he lost all of his strokes. And if it was all on one hole, ignore it. Because that is a guy doing something he probably shouldn't do for the hell of it, just for funsies, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still
curious,
going.
Who are the guys now? Like who are you seeing that's fitting this trend of ours now?
Well, we got to predict the $85 or $8,000 and up golfers because each one of these guys that's like 9K and above has great off the tee. It was just Jake Knapp. Now I was looking for a golfer that was 8K or above that had bad strokes gain stats. I think Justin Thomas is in here somewhere that had bad. Not in 2022. Was it 2021?
Driving it well.
There was a year where I thought I saw he had bad. Oh, it was last 7 weeks. That's what it was. Oh, okay. But if I'm looking at last year, it wasn't. Okay.
I like just good drivers of the golf ball. Good overall drivers of the golf ball.
Yeah. So, you're looking at strokes gain off the tee here. If we were to sort. Oh, we have those filters on. Remember, we're looking at the best.
I don't want bad approach players in this metric either, right? That's what we filtered out of.
Well, we did the minus 0.4.
Yeah, like really bad iron players. We don't
Yep.
want
So
anything to do
those
with.
filters are in, just to remind
That's fine.
everybody.
Yeah,
We have off the tee an approach filter. We've applied the filters we think are going to matter. So this is the list of golfers that we probably want to put in our lineups, or that we're confident to put in our lineups.
Yeah.
Scheffler, we already talked about this at length. This is price dependent.
Mm-hmm.
If Siwoo is like 10,400 or cheaper, I'd say sign me up. You got any worries with Siwoo?
No.
No?
The fact that he's just he just doesn't win. Like he just doesn't.
Does he live in Texas now? Is that the thing? Is he likes to golf, like practice with Scotty?
That's Tom Kim, I think.
No, well, that is Tom Kim for sure, but I thought Siwoo lives closer to Scotty now.
Is Scotty collecting Koreans? I don't know.
He might be.
He's got a little basement, really nice Korean basement down there in Texas.
He probably just likes the food so much. Sungjae's going to come over next.
Yeah, well, Sungjae. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see a problem with Siwoo. It's just he was 30-1 last year. Now he's 16. Now he's 10-1.
Oh gosh.
This year.
Well,
so his price is going to be well up there as well.
Well, he was $9,800 here last year, if I remember correctly.
And he's 30-1 to win this tournament on the odds board.
Oh, he wasn't. Where was he?
9,400.
Okay.
So he's probably going to be in the 10K range.
Oh, for sure.
Anything, him and Jordan Spieth will be 10K.
Hey, just to put it out there, it is raining super hard. It might even storm. It is kind of storming. If I just disconnect, it's because the power went out.
Okay, hang
Not
tight,
to say we have to leave now. I'm just letting you know that if I just disappear, that's why.
Okay. No, hang in there. I hate streaming during the rain.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm all in on Siwoo, but if he's again 10-4, I just don't see how I don't play him at least 33 to 40% of my lineups.
Yeah, it's just the putter. Like, is he going to make it? Like, can he get going with the putter?
True.
But the rest is there. It's good driving of the golf ball coming into it. So
right. Aaron Rai, we were already speculating he's going to withdraw after winning the PGA Championship. Jordan Spieth, I got no issues playing Jordo.
It's driving the ball well.
It's a Texas event.
I
don't think he's even won. Has he won this one before? I don't think he has.
I don't think so. No.
Nope. So this is part of the Texas two-step that he probably wants to win.
Michael Brennan.
Sign me up.
Yes. Sign me up.
Who's the furthest hitting driver in this field? Is it him or Aldrich? Okay. Well, I think either Brennan or this is that trap. This is kind of, to me, I feel like a trap that could be about. But he's not negative approach. Never mind. Oh, he is
negative short game. It's negative short game.
Oh, negative short game. Negative. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's fine.
Oh,
he fits like really good mold there off the tee.
Agreed.
That is like really nice.
Agreed. Pearson Cootie seems better now from his injury.
Yeah.
He's playing decent golf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the assassin.
Mm-hmm.
I like the assassin.
I like Thoya as well.
Dude, he was in a couple of my good lineups, and I thought I was getting cheeky, trying to catch him too early. So I kind of have a little.
You play him at par 5 heavy golf courses. You play him at like long iron intensive. Last week was too many wedges for him. He's not a short wedge guy.
And I agree. Like I remember he was in one of the feature groups at, this is a long time ago, the Bank of Utah Championship.
Yes.
And he was god awful with his wedges. God awful. It's like nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. So I think this is a perfect golf course for him. I'm contemplating betting him
Okay.
at 33 to 1. So
All right. Hey, maybe that's got to be your new shtick. Get on people when they're get on golfers that have been struggling that you're thinking are going to do better. That way you can't curse somebody.
that's Kenny's thing. The hustler play. It's like I get, dude. I snagged a $10,000 stat fish this week. It's my first 10K option.
Who was it again?
Bryson.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah. You really put the hex on him, big time.
Well, it was obvious. Well, it was I eventually just stopped because I started doing a complete tangent here. Okay. We're gonna pull up here a wedge watch. I was tracking Bryson's wedges because he's suboptimal in the wedge range. Okay, so here's the wedge watch. Look at this nice little thing. Here is the first shot Bryson had. He had 105 yards. He hit it to 229 feet, all the way over there. You know, like not going to get it done. Then on the next hole, he had 111 yards, missed the green, 30 feet. I think he landed up hitting it this way and then back up the hill, made bogey. Hole 12, 155 yards. Hit the further he was, outside 150 yards, he actually hit 111 feet, missed the putt.
Interesting.
Hole 13, 145 yards. He hit it. He came out the rough, flew the green. Check out into the crap. Then on hole 1, 117 yards to 17 feet, which is basically tour average from that range, 20 feet. Then I just stopped because that's when things started getting nasty for him. Like I was just going to keep putting out the same stuff that he was just didn't have it. And he just had too many times that he'd have to be hitting a lob wedge. So
I like that comment that was just below. He had a wrist injury. What do you expect?
What people expect, dude. After DJ made the cut, I got like 4 random bot replies saying, "Wow, cope much, man," because I replied that DJ doesn't really deserve to be a special invite to this golf tournament. He finished T45th.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "DJ made the cut, man. How cope much?" I didn't even reply to them until I'm not even going to reply because what are you happy that he finished 45th? Is that what gets you out of bed in the morning? Is Dustin Johnson finishing in the middle of nowhere?
It's going to remind me the whole Sal Vetri thing.
Dude.
I forgot that guy even existed. I until people started sharing his stuff. I must have him blocked in places, so I just don't watch. I don't see any of his shit.
I can't handle him. I cannot handle him.
Didn't he get them all right?
Did he?
I think he did.
Fuck.
I saw that Preacher Joe was on Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm going to be mad enough. He got it right this week or whatever." Because it was like, I think he had Denny McCarthy making the cut. He had Dustin Johnson making the cut. He had what's his face? Did I say Seabez, DJ McCarthy, Denny McCarthy, and then there's one more. Who was it?
Novak.
Yeah, Novak made the cut. Yeah, he got them all.
I hate that.
Yeah,
but like the thing that I had an issue with is the picks are fine, whatever.
It was his reasoning.
The reasoning he's giving it is so ludicrous and it's so misinformative that it's a problem for me. Like he's using past PGA championships. Dustin Johnson has finished second in 2 PGA championships. Those were like 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
It's Andrew Novak is one of the most. I don't know how that's just the worst is when things like this hit. I can't believe he actually did. That is disgusting. That's disgusting. Anyway, back to hitting our own bets. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sorry.
That's disgusting.
I know. Okay, so you like Thorbjornsen. Him and Rasmus Højgaard are the exact same golfer. The exact same golf. They perform poorly when they're supposed to play well, and then they play well when you don't expect them to play, or when you expect them to play poorly.
This makes a lot of sense for Rasmus this week. Yeah, I like that.
Jordan Smith. I don't have any really thing.
He's weird. He's just a flusher from DP World Tour. Doesn't putt very well, as you can see there.
He used to be my favorite 5K or 6K golfer to play in the Open Championship when he was in those all the time. Like my favorite.
He's so good at those.
Patrick Rogers, does Rogers get it done? Does he finally win a tournament?
No, but he's going to be like your fourth click, right?
It might be
your third click.
We think he's going to be like $8,600? That's my guess. Let's see. It's going to be 15, 10-6, 10-4.
$7,400. So I think he'll be in the 7K range.
Do we think Michael Brennan's going to be a $9,000 golfer?
No.
Can't be.
No, because Brennan's...
well, actually, I'm going to get rid of our filters so I can see this better.
Well, I think Brennan will be in the 8Ks. He's 50 to 1.
He's still on the top of... Oh, yeah. Odds are the best way to do this. Yeah. Can you pull up your odds?
Yeah.
That way, I think this has been so good trying to predict pricing. Like,
yeah. So this is why I say, like, look at these odds compared to like what Scotty was at the CJ Cup last year. He's like half the odds. So he's going to be 14 something.
Yeah.
Siwoo Kim's going to be 10-8, 10-7. Jordan Spieth's going to be like 10-1.
Yep.
Brooks is going to be 9-8.
There it is, Brooks. Yeah.
Keith Mitchell is going to be $9,500.
No way.
Pearson, Michael Thorbjornsen is going to be 92, 93. Wyndham Clark's going to be like 9K flat. Maybe Rio 9K. How many in the 9K range usually? 10?
6 or 7.
6 or 7. There's
6,
10
7.
in the 8s, right?
Yeah.
That you say. So these are your 3, then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. Wyndham Clark, maybe Davis Thompson, Rio, and Rasmus all open up at the top of the 8K range.
Yes, I would say that actually, Wyndham being 89 makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Or Davis Thompson being 89. 4, like Wyndham Clark 6, might be 7, 88.
8, 9, 10. So Michael Brennan could be 8K flat-ish.
Ooh, I like that then.
This is, the 8K range here, probably with some Rasmus Højgaard in the middle of that. Rio Hatsatane in the middle of the 8K range. Sanjay, lower 8K range. And then here's our 7s, the guys that are in the 50 to 1 range and beyond. So Matty Schmidt, if you're in the mood for that. Max Griesemann seemed to be playing quite nicely.
The grease trap.
The grease trap. There's Patrick Rogers. So Aldrich, Patrick, Chris Kirk was playing some good golf. So these are your 7s, that kind of thing.
Good names.
Good names. Good names.
Yeah, I don't I agree. So Brennan being $8,000, that's pretty good. Do you just want to rapid fire through these?
Yeah, I'm kind of just eyeing guys that I'm in the mood for. Like it makes sense why Keith Mitchell's, Aldrich I love Aldrich this week again.
That whole thing we just did, looking at recent form and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would like a Johnny Kiefer just based off of that. Looking at Johnny Kiefer, even like a Hao Tong Lee. I think if you're looking for, bomber, Hao Tong is, fits that mold pretty well.
And just came off a solid major again. He's pretty good in majors, man. Hao Tong Lee.
Yeah. Max McGravy. I mean, if last year one bucket matters, he might be a golfer to put in your lineups.
And he's just driving it really well. Notice how many of these guys struggle to putt.
Yeah. Do we want positive putters to go with our bombers? Is that do you remember going through the whole list?
I don't think the putting made a difference. It was some of them were good putters, some of them weren't. I think, of all of these stats, you're not just going to show up here and drive the living piss out of the golf ball. You're going to have that pedigree.
Yeah.
I think you can make anyone can make putts this week.
Yep, I agree. Garrett Kigo, dude, I'm just gonna say this quickly. Who fucking cares about what he said? I honestly don't care what
He's
he
so
said.
It's so funny. He's so aloof.
Yeah, and the
He's
is
so
that all
unplugged.
rage bait that was on Twitter, trying to get people to feel a certain way? Is that what your co-host tries to like? He's trying to get impressions and clicks and shit like that.
What was Kenny saying?
He was like, I'm done with this guy. He is so entitled and blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, who fucking cares, man?
He's just so he's Durban. He's so Durban.
What is that? What word did you just
Durban
say?
is like a part of South Africa. It's on the east coast. It's on the coast. When all the guys from Joburg in the summertime will all go to Durban because it's the beach. You go to the beach. We're all in inland at altitude. We go to Durban or Cape Town.
Gotcha.
But Durban's like on the east coast, is nice and warm.
Yeah.
When
yeah,
you're
yeah.
ordering food in Durban, when you're expecting service in Durban, everything is so much slower. Everything runs. It's like Mississippi versus Iowa type thing, right? So
okay.
Like I don't know, but Durbanites are on the beach. They live on beach time. There's no rush.
Beach bums.
Beach bums.
Yeah.
That's what Garrick literally is.
Gotcha.
Like
that makes sense.
Hair, like he's a Durbanite. This is just who he is.
That's awesome. I never heard of it, and I love hearing that. That's cool. Sure. The thing is, the worse the recent form is, I'm almost going to say the more I want to play them.
Yeah. I think you just fire them off.
Because of what we saw looking at it's like, this is where you can come to revitalize your season. I think that's probably maybe the perfect tagline to put on this tournament.
If good drivers, where
bombers come to revitalize their season.
Yeah. where bombers don't get blown, where bombers blow whatever. We'll figure it out. We've got the DNA of what we need.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think we gotta go down the whole list. This is
you want to just filter by the best off the tee here quickly, just to see like who's like the guys.
Yeah, Cam Champ back in the field. Positive approach.
Barely, yeah.
Do you want me to get rid of the filters that we did have?
Because we just want good drivers.
Okay.
We don't want bad iron plays, right?
Yeah,
That's just basically what it's filtering.
So these are all of the guys that we would be comfortable playing.
Yeah.
Okay. David Ford coming back from injury. I probably don't want to play him.
Bits and pieces, whatever.
Jesper Svensson. Yes to Jesper.
Yeah.
We already talked about Cootie. RNP.
Jesus.
You this is the second time I mentioned him, and you kind of have an issue with RNP.
I've got an issue with him because I've lost units to this man. Lots of them. He's hurt me. He's too inconsistent, but he makes a lot of sense this week. I think at some point he was like inside the top 20 of the PGA Championship.
I didn't see that.
Shot a 41 on the back nine of that round. Like that's just the shit that he gets up to.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's what kind of drives me nuts with him.
Okay.
So the winner is coming from this group right here.
Do you think so?
Scotty's on it, so that makes sense. And then it's just going to be a really good driver of the golf ball.
Siwoo. Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on. I want to do something really quick. I want to go through the strokes gain again.
Are we making this too simple?
Is there a such thing at this tournament to make it too simple?
That's a good point.
Okay, there's Scheffler. I can put the same filters on that we just did, which I think makes sense.
Yep.
Although that didn't do anything. Did it? For approach minus 0.4 off the tee. I think this is right, but it's not filtering out this guy. Why? Everything else is perfect. Am I reading this wrong? Minus 0.5. How is that still in here? Oh, minus 0.6. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's the wrong filter, which would be sad. It looks like it's the right. I'm looking for positive, like really green. Really green.
Good.
Like,
yeah,
I like positive. I just want to find the easy button right now. That's what I'm trying to find, Byron.
because if you hit by approach here, it's it just includes a lot. Like there's a lot more miscuts. It's like mediocre drivers that are good iron players didn't really do the greatest.
Go to 2024. Oh my God. I don't understand the filter. Why are you not working?
Doesn't just get rid of it.
All right. I'll have to figure that one out. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Okay.
Hit by approach here on this column.
$8,000, 6,800, 74, 98, 85.
See,
this
like
isn't helping.
The approach game has to it starts with the driver. All of the good approach numbers there
Yes.
also had good drivers of the golf ball. Like all of these guys with good approach numbers that are succeeding at least gain 0.15 off the tee.
Yeah.
If anything, like Tom Hoagie is like an exception down there, but still.
It's just, oh my gosh. 2022 is nuts. 2023 is pretty nuts when it comes to off the tee. There's enough golfers. If you just look at the amount that finish in the top 20, I guess that's what else I'm gonna do is finishing position.
So are we skill stacking? Are we skill stacking, Darbo?
No, I'm not. 2/3 rule, baby. Just 2/3 rule. Remember? But I just want to see. So there's 14. Okay, here's the count. So 9 in 2021.
What is this for?
This is for our off the tee stats.
Okay.
So 9
finish rates.
Yes.
Finish.
9 finished inside the top 20 in 2021 with just the one filter we have, the off the tee, 0 to basically 2 strokes, or just greater than 0. So we had 9 in 2021, 16 in 2022, top 20s, 14 in 2023, 14 in 2024, 19 in 2025.
And if you go and make it 0.1, it'll barely even change. Because
were you watching?
I was watching. There's 1 or 2 guys.
0.1.
That's a little bit, but
17 in 2025, 12 in 2024, 12 in 2023, 14 in 2022, 6 in 2021. So that one went down.
This was the big year. It was just a weird sample size of guys, but it's the furthest away from us, which is totally cool as well.
The first year that was played at Trinity Forest.
Yeah.
Or second year?
No.
Second
This
year?
is the first year that they played it at
TPC. Yeah. Craig Ranch. So maybe the golfers coming into this field, or say the Bombers on tour, didn't know this is a course that they should have gone to.
Yeah, and it's also 2021. It's the first year after COVID.
Yes,
and
right.
crap. It's like
right.
Whatever. I like what we've seen from the other 4. Like if you aren't gaining 0.1,
it's a large number.
It's huge. It's the only constant really.
20. Yeah, it's you could make 2 lineups with some of these, the amount of golfers that are in this criteria, these groups.
Yeah.
And look at that recent form column. It is just
it's more like a course fit than anything else this week. It's like I'm curious what the micro model kicks out for this week.
Yeah, I mean, going back, all of these golfers are. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. There are only. Oh, how many are there? There's 53
That gain more
that
than
are just.
that
I have that approach filter on there. We can get rid of the approach filter. So 65. Actually, let's go back.
Yeah, but
One
the
more.
approach filter was relevant because we didn't want crappy like guys that had bad iron play that they just didn't put.
You're right.
Like if you're a bad iron player, you're just not getting it together.
You're right. But that's the okay. Hold on. Let me do this really quick. Then I know I've been saying really quick. Approach all fits the criteria we have currently. 2022, approach fits the criteria. 2023, approach fits the criteria. 2024, outside of SH Kim,
yeah,
everybody else does. 2025, everybody meets the criteria. So yeah. There. Thank you. So yeah, everybody here, 53 golfers. You do the math. You know, we can expect 14 of these 53 golfers to finish top 20.
And if we go 0.1 off the tee, how much does that whittle this down by?
By 8 golfers, so there's 45.
Yeah, I want like at least above average. You know, I don't want you like 0.09 off the tee. I want like 0.1 something.
Okay. Well, this is where you have it. Just right here.
Super
0.1. Well, it'll be fun
these are the guys.
Review this afterwards to see after how the tournament ends, how many of these golfers do finish inside the top 20. I mean, what is that? 14? Is that 14, 28, 42? That's nearly 1/3.
Yeah.
And there are probably some golfers here that you could easily just say, I don't want to play, although I kind of like a lot of the names that I see.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Yu is one that maybe yeah. I mean, I think my player pool is going to be like driver heavy good golfers.
Are 45 golfers too much to have in your player pool?
Well, it depends where you anchor around. Are you anchoring around like because you're going to have Scotty in here. So then that's naturally just going to make you rotate through a bunch of guys that are cheap.
Yeah, and I will note this too. This is something I should have said a long time ago. This is not with PGA Championship stats in here. I don't think anything's going to really drop a lot of these numbers, but I just want to put it out there that if there's a golfer that you see today that isn't in this list tomorrow, that's why.
Yeah, that's impacting anyone that's not on the screen right now. So if you scroll down, these are guys that are likely going to be impacted because they're on the bubble. I'm vibing Johnny Vegas this
week. Hey, Pink recent form. Last year one bucket, and matching the whatever. I mean, that's one thing I didn't actually look at is the bucket system. But I mean, I'm not gonna get too much into the weeds with it right now. I just want to look at the summary of it. Johnny see Vegas, what it shows.
22nd off the field. You gained over half a stroke per round. Last week you couldn't putt. Johnny Vegas was second in strokes gained tee to green this week.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Byron, at least one golfer from the last year one bucket has been inside the top 10.
Let's go.
And if I go down to the totals down here, 1, 2, 2, 3. We skipped these 2 years. 2, 2, 4, 2, 1, 4. So you could basically guarantee lock in 2 golfers. You know, last year there was only 14 golfers in that bucket. Where's the other time we had one? 2015. Yeah, that one's bigger. Anyways, yeah. So last year one buckets, you could get up to two golfers there. Out of that list, how many were there?
6 or 7.
7.
Yeah.
So pick 2 of these guys.
And they're all good off the tee.
Oh, that's because we still have those filters in.
So of course the filters are working. Yeah, I like it. I like where we're going here. That's my favorite part about this show on a Sunday night is picking, we're trying to find a lane that we're going to go into the week with.
Yeah, I mean, same here, because I tend to do this between Tuesday and Wednesday, like after I stream, and then so basically all day Wednesday, I guess, is try to find the very nitty gritty to really look into, and pick golfers from that. Oh God, last week fives, missed cuts, and then golfers who didn't play the week before. I mean, that's going to be easy because a lot of golfers in this field did not play in the PGA Championship.
That bucket's too big. Yeah,
but guys who missed the cut, hey. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it'll be interesting getting into the bucket system for this tournament. I mean, a lot of it just, oh my God, there's a lot of minimums. Byron, strokes gained 3 bucket means positive off the tee, negative putting.
There we go.
It is.
That's the blueprint.
That's insane. I mean, only 11% of all golfers that were ever in this bucket have finished inside the top 10, but 3 every single year?
Yeah, that's insane.
What the hell? Oh, that's a big number. 43, 50, that's a lot of golfers that fit that bucket every single year.
Darbo, I'm going to have to cut this short.
All right.
Got to see a man about a horse.
I got you. That's fine.
Trying to leave the stable, yeah.
All right, buddy.
Strokes gained off the tee, baby. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Good.
We figured it out.
And this is one of the record shortest times ever. So,
all good.
2 hours, 15 minutes. Let's do it, baby.
All right, buddy.
All right. I'll catch you soon.